So that brings this brilliant conference to an end. Thank you to everybody who came, to the organisers, Anne-Marie and Pat and Eugene and Paul. And I just think finally we're going to have a few words with Mayor Mags Murray just to conclude.
It's very, very hard following national heroes and broadcasters, but I suppose I just have to say I'm so proud of the way today went. I'm so proud of the way people attended, came with so much positivity. I hope you've taken away a lot of information with you, made useful contacts, and we look forward to you being a part of the feedback that will come from the workshops. And just something that occurred to me earlier on, and I think it's one of the things I operate out of myself. My grandmother was actually dead before I heard this story, but she went to America in the 30s. And I had no great desire to see New York, but I wanted to see Ellis Island and the Great Hall, where my grandmother went through. So she lived there for 9 years, and she met someone who came back. He told her he was bringing her back to a wedding, but he bought a farm, and she never got back to America. But the reason I tell you the story is, and it's a great pity she was dead when I found this out, because I think somewhere along the way, I think maybe I inherited a little bit of her. Years ago when you were farming down in the country, and if it was any kind of a decent sized farm, the neighbours would come in and they'd help you to do the threshing. And this is what I loved about her, and I hope I have, and I hope I will continue to bring this to my work. When the farmers would come to the door in everybody else's house, they'd be sent to the parlour. But when the labourers came, they were sent to the back kitchen. When they came to my grandmother's door, they went to the parlour as they turned up at the door. And I think it is that little thing about seeing what's unique in everybody and just treating everybody the very, very same. And as I said, it's a pity she was dead when I found that out, because I think I could have found out an awful lot more about the way she thought and how she judged or didn't judge people. We've had great inputs today from the Minister, from Fidel, from David, from Brian. But my last big thank you to be, and I want you all to come up to get a photograph later. I had the great privilege many years ago of working for Fingal County Council. And each year there's a mayor's conference put on. And each year a theme is arrived at. And last year would have been enterprise. But I'm glad in my year as mayor that I got an opportunity to showcase the community department of Fingal County Council. It's just like family to me. But to put on a conference of this level and this professionalism, people kind of normally might think, the private sector or the enterprise section will do that. But everybody in the community department, from Anne-Marie Farley down, Pat Queen, and I should really do a sweep of the room, because you're all down there, and Eugene for getting the late great sub up. There are too many names to mention, but I do want to photograph so we can remember your contribution that you made to this conference today. So going forward, all of the information will be brought back, it will be assessed, and our long-term plan for Fingal County Council, in acknowledging under the great leadership of our Chief Executive, and I think it's no mistake and it's no accident that Paul Reid came to us at a time of great change. He took over at the end of, and he came from the private sector, and you've done an awful lot of learning, Paul. You've learned on your feet, I can tell you. But that's because you're open to ideas. But I think we got a chief executive with great vision, huge contacts, has earned himself huge respect. No matter where I go in the country, people know the name Paul Reid. And one of the lovely things I bring is your development work across seas. And I heard you speak about this at a recent conference, and Mary McCamley was chairing actually. And I think you bring something to the game that people sometimes, you see, they've come from the public sector, you don't actually realise that there's another string to their bow. But I'm going to say no more. I'm just going to say this has been, and to think it was done in Dublin 15, I pass by here all the time and wouldn't be in and out as often as I'd like to be. And up the road, when we talk about churches, I was in there yesterday for a few little minutes, and it was the saddest time I ever went to Porterstown Church, because I know how deep some people's faith is and how important it is for you to have a place of worship and create a sense of community for yourself. And the little dog is a Yorkie. We put him to sleep last week, but I never went to Portestown Church without him. I went in on the way to the park to pray for the strength because I had arthritis to walk around the park, and I went in on the way home to thank God for allowing me the pleasure and the ability to get there. But I always remember we arrived in just before a christening, and Father John was there, and I said, I'm really sorry, Father, I'll take him. Now, Father John had always seen Tiger sitting in the front seat, but I just thought it was unusual. When I see the deep, deep faith that many of you people have, and sometimes how flippant we can be about ours, and the priest says, never mind, Mags, there's more religion in that dog than half my parishioners. And, you know, and it's true. But this has been your day. It's a great day for Dublin 15, a great day for all the people who chose to come and live in Dublin 15. We're delighted to have you here. And I think your involvement in sport is a great way of expressing yourself. I think in particular you're so good at performance and that type of expression that allows us to see into your hearts and what you like and what you love for yourself. So going forward, we just say, we can't make any promises, but I do believe that this council will serve the needs of the people who came here today, who participated, and hopefully who've left a landmark and a legacy behind, that we can go and work on the things that you told us are important to you. So safe home to everybody, and thank you again for your participation, because it would have been nothing without you.